Thinking of moving to Oklahoma City this year, but you want someone to tell you like it is. The hard truths. Someone to tell you your butt looks big in that new pair of pants. Wait, does that work here? Anyway, the point is, you want someone to shoot you straight about Oklahoma City. Let's get into it. Thanks for joining us here today. So, you're thinking of moving to OKC this year, but you're just not sure what it's all about. Well, I have had the pleasure of helping people move here from so many states over the last couple of years. And every day, people are still finding lots of appealing things about Oklahoma City that's catching their attention. Pretty good. Now, I've done similar videos like this in the past, but every year I like to do a refresher and hopefully bring some new things to the list. So, that's what we're gonna do today. But first, if you're thinking of moving to the Oklahoma City area, whether that's in the next few weeks or few months from now, I would absolutely love the opportunity to help make a smooth move right here to OKC. You're gonna find my contact information in the description below, so please feel free to shoot me a call, a text, or an email, or even better, click the link below to schedule a one-on-one video call with me so we can discuss how I can help you buy that perfect home here in OKC. Now, let's get started. Now, I tried to keep this as honest as possible, but I have lived here in Oklahoma City my whole life, so I might be a little biased. There are probably a few more pros on this list than cons. Sue me.
Please don't sue me, this is just a joke. Anything said in this video cannot be used against me unless I say anything negative about the classic Oklahoma onion burger. Not valid with any other offer. Professional drivers on a closed course, and yes, guac is extra.
The overall cost of living is around 13% lower than the national average. And, well, let's be honest, a big chunk of that is going to be home prices. And here in Oklahoma City, the median home price is right around $260,000 versus the US median home price at right around $425,000. Now, to be totally honest, in my experience, this is the biggest draw to Oklahoma City. The rest of this list are things that new residents typically grow to love, or some parts of this list, maybe not so much. But the cost of living is definitely a huge driver for the growth here in OKC. People in Oklahoma City are just nice. Nope. There's no catch. Nobody wants anything from you. Well, except for those little kids standing outside the grocery store slinging Girl Scout cookies, and they definitely want all of my money for 10 or 12 boxes of Thin Mints. But aside from those little scammers, people here are just genuinely nice. And truthfully, if you spend any amount of time here, I think you'll agree. Now, this is a subject for debate, and some of you are gonna come in the comments and disagree, so feel free to disagree below. But we really have tons of great food here in Oklahoma City. Some of the food we are known for are Oklahoma classics like chicken fried steak, Indian tacos, the fried onion burger, and we also have some pretty great barbecue. And we have some awesome Oklahoma City-based restaurants like Paseo Grill, Cheever's Cafe, Empire Slice House, Tucker's Onion Burger, and really a ton more. I actually made a couple of videos talking about some of my very favorite Oklahoma City-based restaurants, so I'll leave a link in the description to both of those videos so you can check them out next. One of the things I love about Oklahoma City is we actually have a lot of options for outdoor activities. Now, if you live somewhere with a ton of really beautiful mountain terrain or in the Pacific Northwest, listen, I realize it's not gonna compare to that, but we do have some really cool outdoor areas and parks here like the beautiful Lake Hefner or Martin Park Nature Center. Another really cool area is Stinchcomb Wildlife Refuge. We've got two really beautiful downtown Oklahoma City parks with Scissortail Park and the Myriad Botanical Gardens. And there's a seemingly endless list of different parks throughout the city. Another thing I really love is it's really just a short drive to the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge, which I go to quite a bit for some day hiking, considering we have 235 sunny days a year here in Oklahoma City. And additionally, here in Oklahoma, we have a ton of great lakes for fishing and camping. Now, I say this all the time, but I really don't think you can understate how much I love that we have all four seasons here in Oklahoma City. You've got my favorite, the crisp fall with relatively warm sunny days. The winters here where, yes, they can get pretty cold, but really overall relatively mild, and we get a little snow just for fun. The beautiful and colorful spring, and at least half the summers are nice and sunny and enjoyable. Now, the other half of the summers with insanely hot temperatures. Can someone move that half of summer down to the cons list? Are you a baseball fan? Let's go check out an OKC Dodgers game. Basketball fan? OKC Thunder, anyone? How about football? All right, so we don't have an NFL football team, so there's an area of opportunity, but we love our OU Sooners and OSU Cowboys football. We also have the Women's College World Series that happens here in OKC every year. So if you're into sports, there's a ton of choices. Okay, I've talked about some of this in some other videos, but there is so much development happening here in OKC. Downtown, we have the development of the boardwalk at Bricktown, which is bringing a ton of restaurants, bars, and hotels. And also downtown in Oklahoma City, we've got, and I'm not kidding here, potentially the tallest building being built in the United States. Here in Northwest OKC, we've got a really cool commercial development called Oak, which is gonna be bringing a ton of retail, hotels, and apartment buildings. And also in West OKC, we've got a 12,000 seat amphitheater coming that will be here hopefully by 2025. So there is a ton of really cool things brewing here in this continually growing city. Oklahoma City has remained a city with a very stable economy and, well, Oklahoma in general. Two recent independent studies have both named Oklahoma in the top 10 states for economic potential here in 2024. Some contributing factors that lead to this conclusion is the overall economic data that remains favorable when compared to the other 50 states, but also both of these studies have concluded that Oklahoma is very business friendly. Now, this is due in large part to having a legislature that is pro-limited government when it comes to business regulatory measures. Now, this one is worth noting, but could be a pro or a con depending on who you are. But Oklahoma in general is a politically conservative state. Make no bones about it, Oklahoma has voted Republican in every presidential election since 1968. So by that measure, it's certainly one of the most conservative states that you could find. However, I do think it's worth noting, and I've mentioned this in past videos before, that Oklahoma City is certainly a little more split down the middle. So again, the fact that Oklahoma is an overall conservative state, well, I'll let you decide if that's a pro or a con. But at the end of the day, I'm confident that no matter where you sit on that political spectrum, you're gonna be able to find like-minded people here in OKC. Oklahoma comes in number 6 on the top 10 list of heftiest sales tax, with a combined sales tax rate of just under 9%. And yes, that will get charged on food, which is so lame. Thankfully, to offset that, when looking at the states with the lightest overall tax burden, Oklahoma makes that lightest 10 states list. Okay, listen, if you come from a state without the need for a car, you better snag some wheels. I'm just gonna shoot you straight, it is very difficult to live here in Oklahoma City without a car. OKC is, after all, the 8th largest city in the United States by area, so it's big. And unfortunately, I hate to bag on Oklahoma City, but public transportation ain't so great. They're working on it, and there are a few things in the works, but for right now, it's pretty hard to depend on public transportation. I get asked about this a lot, and you may be aware, but here in Oklahoma, we have some pretty extreme weather. Like I mentioned earlier, we get some really hot days in the summer. Even though winters are pretty mild, we do get some pretty cold temperatures, and sometimes that comes with freezing rain and an ice storm. And the springtime, we get thunderstorms, sometimes severe thunderstorms, and sometimes that comes with hail. And also that does come with tornado season. Now, I don't want to get too deep into that topic in this video, but suffice it to say that Oklahoma does get tornadoes, and Oklahoma City isn't exempt from that. Now, that said, at 44 years old, I have lived in Oklahoma City my whole life, and I've never been in a tornado, but they do happen. You do need to stay tornado ready. I actually made a pretty in-depth video on the Oklahoma weather, so I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. Oklahoma, where the pollen comes sweeping through your eyelids. Yes, that's right. Many lists will continue to put Oklahoma City on as one of the most challenging cities to live if you have seasonal allergies. And raise your hands if that's you. Now, I don't know about you guys, did anybody here do one of those ridiculous allergy tests when you were a kid, where they poke you with like 700 needles of different allergens and it turns out you're allergic to 699 of them? No? Just me? Okay, maybe that's an Oklahoma thing. I don't know. If that's something you did growing up, let me know in the comments below. But suffice it to say, we definitely have allergens here in Oklahoma City, so if seasonal allergies are something that give you hell every year, well, make sure to pack the Claritin because you're probably gonna need it. Now, another con that I kind of mentioned just a bit ago is just how big Oklahoma City and the surrounding metro are by area. It can be a little challenging to get used to all of the areas, so when you move here, that may take a little time. So for that reason, I recommend that you check out this video next to get a better overview of the OKC Metro. And as always, guys, until next time, I certainly hope to see you soon. See ya.